Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It
yes,
is.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is very much visible, sir. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Very good,
Yeah.
very good morning to you and all the participants. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
All the other participants are requested to keep please their mic in a muted mode. Hilol, it is echoing. I think something is wrong. Please check it because it is coming repeatedly.
Yeah, I to check on. Yes, sir. I'm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so Professor Sashindra Kr, thank you so much for joining in this morning. Since today is the almost like we are ending, we have finished almost 75% of our session, and then today we will be having a two session. One of the session is from Professor R.M. Pant, who is the director of a rural institute in Assam. The first session is here, of course, and let me inform you about the this 1 week webinar or 1 week workshop until the participant join. We are expecting around 70 plus participant. Since now 10:33, we'll wait a couple of minutes with your respect and permission of your probably 2 to 3 minutes. Then after it, we'll start. So, like for example, I was saying in day one, we have Mirna Talukdar, which is the top journalist of the country, and he's a change maker in a social reform. So, and then follow by him next, we have a Sarat Vivek Sagar, who is also you probably know your youngest entrepreneur, social change maker. So, in the dynamicity of this entire picture, we also have Professor Vijay Vijay, who is leading the country in Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. Thereafter, the next day, we have Miss Hazel, who is a very young coordinator of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. She shared her experiences about the Don Bosco University, which you are the leader of this Unnat Bharat Abhiyan in the our northeastern state. And then followed by him, we have a financial metrics also that is by Mr. Samir Borua, who is also the mentor of various village entrepreneurs and startup ecosystem. And thereafter, we have another very elite speaker, and she is Urvashi Sehni. Probably you know her. So she is a social entrepreneur, and she was there to share and also encourage our people that what we can do in the village with the with the young boys and girls. And then thereafter we have Professor Dole and Professor Robert from University of Melbourne, who is the director of Smart Village Lab, and then he also asked our participant and the student to in order to make us village stronger and smarter. And of course, today is your session, sir. So thank you so much for joining and blessing. In spite of your busy schedule, I can understand you have new responsibilities also in IIT. And since you are the pioneer of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan in the state of Assam, especially, so that's why this your blessing and your support and your encouragement is very much important. And we appreciate really you have to share your time. So this is all about, sir. And let me tell you about the composition of a participant. We have a participant across the country. Almost like 15% are from the rest part of the country, and the 10%, 90% are from our northeastern state. And if we go into a little bit of describing it, then you will understand that we have a participant from like state like Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh. So that's a very excellent thing for us. So we are brotherhood and sister all are together in this forum. And the purpose of this workshop and seminar is also to build a brigade or a marathon of people, a team of motivated who will go into the village and propagate your idea and the idea of Professor Dole and the idea of Professor Vijay, so that we all the young participant as well as the faculty like can get understand into the root of the reformation, or the transformation in the villages. So this is all about the program entire, and then at the end we will be looking the cluster of people who is ready to go to the village, sir. So this is all about. So we have already 10:36, and the participants are closing 50 plus. So I think we can start by the time they will join. And also like to inform you that the similar we are posting in the YouTube also, so there will also be certain participant would be also be there. So may I request the team to come forward, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Padmini is there. So, Padmini, I would like to request to please introduce our speaker of the day, Professor Sashindra Kr. He is the director. He's very much occupied, so very very quick, and and so the other participant also knew about him. Of course, he doesn't need any introduction, but we have to do it. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. A beautiful morning to one and all present here. Respected Professor Sachindra Kumar Kakoty sir, Regional Coordinator Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, respected Madelson Ronghang sir, Coordinator Smart Village Lab Local Chapter and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan Unit, respected faculties of distinguished colleges, and lastly to all my dear friends and esteemed participants. I, Padmini, on behalf of entire BBEC family, would like to welcome you all to the sixth day of our online workshop cum seminar, Smart Villages by Intervention and Visible Solution. I hope everyone is safe, healthy, and staying at home. This workshop is jointly organized by Smart Village Lab Local Chapter, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan Unit, Bineshwar Burma Engineering College, Kokrajhar, and University of Melbourne, Australia. First and foremost, we are very much thankful to Professor Sachindra Kumar Kakoti sir for giving us his valuable time and accepting our invitation. We are honored and blessed to have you among us. He is currently the coordinator of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan and Rohtak Northeast IIT Guwahati. He is also the Dean of Resource Generation and Finance. He is also currently the Professor of Mechanical Engineering at IIT Guwahati. He served as an associate professor and assistant professor of mechanical engineering at IIT Guwahati. He was also an assistant professor at Jorhat Engineering College. He served as lecturer at Assam Engineering College, Jorhat Engineering College, and Assam Engineering Institute. He was an executive trainee at Oil India Limited, Duliajan. He was also a site engineer at True Steel Products. He completed his PhD in mechanical engineering from IIT Kharagpur. He completed his Masters of Engineering from IISc Bangalore and Bachelor of Engineering from Assam Engineering College. He passed his PU from Nagaon College and HSLC from Nagaon Government Boys Higher Secondary School. His contribution as coordinator of Rohtak Northeast include design and development of air cocoon opener, high capacity improvised bicycle, feed block making machine for yak and cattle, mechanized production of muga fabric, bamboo charcoal and bamboo vinegar production technology, pulp pressing machine for production of sanitary napkin, betel nut cutting machine, hand to bobbin machine, print winding machine, sectional wrapping machine. He teaches 12 different courses. He also has lots of research guidance students under him at various aspects. He has a plenty of publications like journals, conference paper, books, and monographs. Sir, thank you so much for joining us and being here with us. We are very glad that you are here with us, and we are really blessed and looking forward for a great session. Without any further delay, I request sir, you to sir start the session. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Padmi. Thank you for introducing. I think you have taken the things from my personal website, which is not updated actually. I have relinquished both the Dean RGF as well as Regional Coordinator of North Region lately. So this is not updated actually. I realize now. Mm, Presently, I am serving as Deputy Director of IIT Guwahati. I'm always a professor in mechanical engineering. Here, these are whether Dean or Deputy Director or Director, these are additional responsibilities. We always act as basically as a faculty member. and I'm still coordinator of RUTAG, Rural Technology Action Group, IIT Guwahati. And also, I am the chairman of Assam State Center of the Institution of Engineers, India. I think Vinesa Brahmo Engineering College also became institute member of IEI. Am I right, Manal?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I welcome all the participants. I'm privileged that I have been requested to deliver a speech. Manal Rongham was very right. Actually, I am really very busy these days. Our virtual convocation is scheduled on 22nd, and Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister will be the chief guest. So this is a big event. We are doing all the, we are giving, putting all the efforts to make it success. So we have a lot of anxieties also for that particular program next Tuesday. So even then, because I committed to deliver this speech, so I quickly managed to prepare a presentation. In fact, I did it only today morning. So because I have done it quickly, I think I may have missed certain things, but still, I will try to cover whatever is possible during my short speech. So it is also a very welcome move from Vinesa Brahmo Engineering College, particularly TechKeep, for taking up different activities. Already you have organized numbers of webinars. I delivered speech in other webinars also earlier. And this is particularly very important topic on which you are conducting this workshop for 1 week, smart villages by intervention and visible solutions. So I am very much attached to this because I am involved with science and technology intervention for a long period of time in villages. And also we have seen some visible solutions also. We have some visible solutions. And also, I must tell you very frankly, certain things were not successful also. We could not make it a reality. Certain things are still dream. Yes, it happens, but our success rate, if we assess, it is almost 85 to 90%. Only around 10 to 15% failures are there. And we are also learning from the failures. It is important to learn from failures. So with this, I will start my presentation. In fact, I hail from a rural background. My birth.
Professor Kakoty, you are muted. I think.
Okay.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
All set. Yeah.
Actually, I hail from a small village called Maspatri from Nagaon district, and I did my schooling in Nagaon town. After my birth, actually, my parents shifted to the town, and I started my schooling in town. But still, I have a very good linkage with my birthplace, that is my village. I still visit there. My uncles are there. My other relatives are there. I used to go there. I mingle with the villagers there, and I used to find out what are the issues they are facing, what are the problems they are facing, and whether I can come to any use, any sort of solution, whether I can provide them. So in numbers of cases, I have done that. And, I'm also involved with many research projects which are particularly relevant for industry. My research area is called tribology of bearings. In fact, I am working on different types of bearings, and these are related to industry actually. However, my passion is nowadays rural technology. I have been associated with rural technology when I was working in Assam Engineering College. We had a small team of rural technology center. We started it in 1993. You may be surprised to know we started with no fund, no paisa, no money. we started only with human resource. Okay, so then within very few period, few months, we actually developed a few technology, small technology. We exhibited in different exhibitions and found a very sort of important help from others. Somebody is writing something. Okay, then finally we could actually gather some small amount of money also for doing things. And my erstwhile colleagues who were associated with me, one was Professor P.C. Borua, who recently expired, and another was Professor Sashindra Kr, who is now in US. But then that has continued actually. When I came to IIT Guwahati, I started doing things again in rural technology. So I have a zeal to serve the society in general. Somebody is writing. Why? Who is writing? Anyway, so because I have the zeal to serve the society in general, so I found it very appropriate to work in this type of project like Rural Technology Action Group Northeast. I was a coordinator from beginning, 2006. So we have completed 14 years. Now it is 15th year running. And I'm really very glad that I have been associated for this long period for doing things for science and technology intervention in villages. I have not traveled many abroad countries, but I have traveled all the northeastern states. In fact, nooks and corners of different states, including Sikkim. In Arunachal, there is a place which is very near to China border, Yiping. We also walk there. So this is not always possible for everybody. Actually, you have to have some courage. You have to have some commitment. Then only these things are possible. And I had something in mind that we should start some research activities. We should develop some manpower. In that direction, I formed a group and proposed for a center for rural technology in IIT Guwahati. And finally, in 2016, we started this center, and this center is now working. And within this short period of time, this center has been doing fine. So with this motivation,
Hello, Hilal.
Yes, sir.
I think we lost her, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, network problem might be.
Okay. So, participant, I think, as you understood, the challenges which we are having with conducting the online program. But nevertheless, I think you will keep yourself motivated. The sir will join immediately. No worries. And I request that the participant not to touch the screen. I can understand. It's always very much
Sir,
interesting or very much eager to
join.
do it. Yeah, sir is back. Yeah, sir is back. So please, sir, you are muted, sir. You are muted. Yes,
audible
it's
now?
coming. Yes, sir, audible, sir. So you share your screen again, sir, please.
Yes. I'll do that. So sorry for the interruption. I don't know, maybe it's our network.
Yes, sir. It's a network issue, sir. So no problem, sir. It's always happen, you know. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's our network. Anyway, I use this
Yes.
word frugal. Many people use the word zogari, right? It is something like zogari only. So that means whatever is available nearby you and whatever resources you have, based on that, if you design and develop something, that is actually frugal. So we always keep our eyes that things are the things we develop, technology we develop are frugal. Okay, so oh, is it not? Okay. Then the question comes about sustainability. Your overall this workshop is on this sustainable smart village, right? So what is the need to maintain sustainability, to ensure sustainability? The development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the future generations to meet their own needs. This was given in the report by Land Commission. Okay? So it is a very complex process and multidimensional concept. The integration of 7 pillars of survivability, I will show you on diagram rather, where these are the 7 pillars: technical, economic, environmental, cultural, judicial, political. These 6. The first 3 are objectivity of engineers, and the second group of 3 is actually subjectivity of community. Now we have to integrate it actually, by going for communities of problem solving. So that is where this 7 pillars social things come actually. So unless you integrate with the social attributes, then this technology, whatever you develop, cannot become a sustainable one. So we must be careful in doing that. We may have some technical inputs. We may have some sort of hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible and visible, sir. Both.
Yeah. There may be some economic aspects, there may be some environmental issues, there may be some cultural issues, some judicial angles may be there, then always political issues are also there. So if you integrate all these things with social outlook, then this is going to become a sustainable product. So what is the role of appropriate technology in sustainable development? Technology has the power that may change every sphere of our life in the society. Engineers, not alone. Engineers have to integrate themselves with others who matters. And they have to bring the real sustainability of the society. Technology is always carry some risks. It may be foreseen, it may not be foreseen, and or it may not be understood actually initial stage. But conversely, the benefit of technology may be far greater than we can foresee. So many times you develop something, you have targeted something else, but you later on you see that has been used for something else. For example, bicycle. Bicycle is basically for what? For riding the bicycle, you can travel from one point to another point, one place to another place. But you are carrying many luggage there, right? You are carrying others there, other maybe your kids or your relatives or friends, right? And also, nowadays you'll see many people are putting their gas cylinder in the carrier. Many people are putting their rice bags, okay, and many people vendors are using these bicycles. So that means originally it was not developed for this purpose, but it has been taken a new dimension, right? Similar examples you will find. So you never know. You may not never know that there may be a greater benefit than what you foresee actually. So you respond to these uncertainties by attempting to maximize the benefits and minimize the risk. That is where you will be able to get a sustainable product, sustainable development product. Need-based appropriate technology intervention improves productivity, reduce drudgery, and optimize cost of energy. Okay? Then stress should be given to develop technology locally. This is one notion we always actually follow, that whatever technology we are actually taking from elsewhere, if we can develop locally, there are many aspects. Actually, there are many benefits. I'll explain with one example. Say, for example, roller machines, okay, for rice milling, right? These are produced elsewhere. They're a small machine, right? And this produced elsewhere, small machine, but it costs a lot. It costs a lot because, say, if it is produced in Punjab or Haryana, and it has been transported from there to some place in Northeast, if its local cost at Punjab and Haryana is, say, 5,000 rupees, so definitely because of this transportation and other issues, the cost of the same utility here in Northeast will be much higher. But if you locally produce this type of machines, the transportation cost will be coming to an insignificant amount, and overall cost of the product also will be less. Actually, we have experienced that. I will come to that later. We have developed few products which were earlier produced elsewhere. I mean, in Ahmedabad or Madurai. These are actually basically weaving related products. But now we have produced it locally. We have developed some entrepreneurs, and these are commercially now available in Assam. So I'll come up with some examples later on. And let me see our village. If you look at very closely, you will find that villagers have limited purchasing power, and there is a lack of education also. And their working condition is mostly, you will find, unhygienic, right? So without any skill development training, without helping them for different issues, not only providing the technology, also hand-holding them to develop the proper environment, all those things are also important. Only developing new technology will not help. It won't be sustainable. Along with that, you have to do a lot of other things. So I will come up with one example. Actually, we have worked for numbers of products, including one potter's wheel. Pottery everywhere in Northeast is a very important trade. Okay, pottery means earthen products. The people who make earthen products, they are known as potters, right? So in the pottery sector, if you study, you will find the process is very laborious, productivity is very less, and even though there is a market demand, you won't be able to supply accordingly. So we have studied that, and we have found that technology intervention is very much necessary in that sector. While studying that, we also found that anthropometry has a definite role in developing new technology. In fact, we learned it with the pottery intervention, and we implemented this anthropometry data, pottery sector, also for other sectors. We'll come to that. So what is the role of anthropometry? Means actually anthropometric data. For example, if you stand somewhere, okay, what is your height? Okay, everybody's height may be different, right? And from community to community, it may be different. For gender basis also, it may be different. For male and female, it may be different. What is your arm length? Arm length also will be different, right? While you are sitting, okay, there also your posture will be different. And all those actually type of different, the dimensions, if you measure, these are called anthropometric parameters, right? So these are factors are why it is related. If somebody is operating one machine, so how easily he can operate that machine, whether it is comfortable for him or he has to put some extra effort for doing that. he or she. Okay, all these things will come actually. So this area was given very little attention earlier, right? And particularly in India. And since people from the different region exhibit difference in nutrition, lifestyle, ethnicity, body dimensions of the people are definitely different for different countries, for different states, within a country with different, creeds or caste, right? So exporting technology from outside the region without considering the local condition is one major problem in developing countries like India, which actually does not give you a sustainable sort of change, right? So we have to apply ergonomics. Ergonomics is a science where technology innovation to enhance production is integrated actually, and the workplace comfort is improved, safety is improved, also performance is improved. And productivity with decrease in injury is one of the very important area which is actually looked after if you with ergonomics consideration. So that means this is a combination of man, machine, and environment, right? So I was talking about different posters, walking posters. You see this, there are first photograph, one young man is walking and one old lady is walking, right? So there's a age difference. So should it be same for them? The operating conditions should be same or different? I think it should be different. Then you see another second photograph. One person is short, one is tall. The short person is doing what? He is using a tool or cell, right? To maintain his height, to do the things, right? So you have to, how do you design these things actually? When you have designed that particular desk where that is, what should be the height of the desk? Okay, whether it should be the minimum or maximum or adjustable. Should you go for average? So these are the issues actually you have to consider. So these are the different types of acceptable and unacceptable work positions. A simple diagram. Okay, if you have to say pull a lever to the front of you, then it is okay. But if you have to pull a lever from back side of you, then it is actually not. It is very cumbersome, right? So we should avoid this type of actually tactics, right? You see, these are two photographs. These are walking with wrong posture for longer time. Okay, you see the environment. Okay, how the people are walking, how they are sitting, at what environment. Okay, so in cottage industry, if you visit and numbers of huge number of photos. Okay, that is why I told a little bit ahead, a few minutes back, walking environment is hygienic sometimes, not appropriate sometimes. Example. So this is a pottery wheel. This is a pottery wheel. Okay, this was actually developed by IIT Kharagpur. We have tested it in 17 different pottery clusters. In find very comfortable compared to West Bengal. Okay. So particularly the lady artisans, they found it very uncomfortable, right? So we have actually worked on that, right? We have worked on that. We intervened this, and we have developed a particular type of potter's wheel. I'll come to that later. Okay. So that is why to improve, not only to improve, also to design something new, you need to have take down. When we have entered into this area, it's for different okay, and whatever data are available, mostly, not all, but mostly, these are extrapolated data which were collected somewhere else, and it was extrapolated for Assam or Northeast. Okay, so that means we realize that the proper collection and publication it may be useful for many different issues. So if easily available, reliable data, if it is published, then many people can use this for designing or refining designs of different tools or machinery, right? So as I showed you some photographs of bell metal already, we have been actually trying to intervene in the bell metal industry. I should not say industry, it is a cottage industry only, in particular in Sortevari, right? So in Sortevari, Assam is known for its metal manufacturing tradition. So bell metal particularly is practiced from 7th century during Bhaskar Burma's time, and a pair of fertile big size symbol used at the time of prayer. This was found to be from the days of Bhaskar Burman, and Bhaskar Burman presented few such things to King Harshavardhana. The brass and bell metal industry in Assam, India are intermingled with social and cultural heritage, geographical background, and mode of living. So bell metal industry, particularly in Sortevari, is one of the oldest metal industry in India. The traditional practice of making these antique pieces is going on for generations. These are actually some sort of, if your parents were working on that, then you also will be working, your children will be working, like that. Numbers of generations are doing these things. So about 40% of this then traditional domestic products are normally produced. These are something like this. We say kahi, cup, plates, portal, bota. Bota, you know, sort of a small type of tray or different designs, right? With a stand position in the middle, right? Then karahi, soria, hoti. These type of products are actually produced in Sortevari. So how it is done? The different steps for making bell metal utensils is by melting of the raw material, then casting is done, then filing the rough edges, then scraping of the burnt layers, and then carving imprints on bell metal ware. That means for design, for artifacts actually. Then carving rings or bormara it is called on bowels. Then what are the tools actually used for these things? One is called hammer, small to big, different sizes. Shiny, one tool is known as shiny, and one is your tong, sorry. Then traditional spinning tool, which is in Sortevari it is called as kundasal. Then sharp edge instrument, we said at the tip called lual, and dhanukar, as it is shaped like the traditional bow. These are different tools. Okay, these are some photographs from Sortevari, how the people are walking. You see the sitting posture, okay, walking environment, right? So this is first photograph is breaking old scraps. The raw materials in ingot form is not available actually. They are actually recycled actually. Already used things are actually bought from households, and then these are used as scraps. These are broken. Then it is prepared for casting. Then after casting, actually it is melted. You see, melted in a open fire, right? There's no proper furnace is there actually. Then pouring is done after melting, right? Then scraping of offside is whatever the burnt part is there, that is actually polished. Then scraping of offside layer. This is second photograph also here. Then carving rings. That means some designs are made. And these are the tools used. I mentioned the names of these tools. These are the tools actually used. Okay. So these are some other photographs where you will see their working environment and how the people are working. This cannot be done by a single person at times. So numbers of persons are required together. Okay. These are from a published paper by Srinivasan. Okay. So this is the way people are working, you see. These are some of the products. Okay. Some of the products of bale material. What is the need of the time? We have been working on it. I'm not giving you the details what we are working actually. We have done almost, we have already covered the targeted things around 60%. Remaining 40% we have to carry out. So what is the need of the time actually? Scientific engineering characterization of bale metal is required. Science and technology intervention for workstation design and process development. Why it is important, I'll tell you. Now, I mentioned that this is done, this trade has been going on generation by generation. But now if you visit Sotebari and Hazu also, in Hazu also to some extent actually bale metal works are done, but there mostly brass metal works are done in Hazu. In Hazu and Sotebari, if you visit, you will find new generation are not attracted for this trade. They are looking for some other things. They are looking for some other livelihood. They are not going by their parents' profession actually. No? Reasons you cannot actually. The process is very laborious. The people who they are working for say 10-15 years, then they will be having a lot of health issues. It's starting from backache, eye problems, eyesight problems, and then headache. Okay, this type of a lot of health issues come up actually. So they have seen their parents suffering all these things. So these young generation are not attracted. So if you can develop a good workstation where things are made comfortable for working, if you develop a good working environment where that health hazards are eliminated, the working postures are ergonomic, right? So if these type of things are done, then the new generation, I hope, will be attracted to this trade, because if you produce quality products, then market is there actually. Then again, for market also some people have to work. It is not the artisans who have to do the marketing. There should be another group who should actually do the marketing, right? So that way actually, if we help them, then this intervention will be successful. So that is why we are actually going for workstation design and process development. So what process they are following, we are studying that, whether that process is correct, whether some modified process should be introduced. So we are also working on that. Then product diversification, attempting wider international market, because now they are producing for the local people, whatever is required by the local people. But you know, if you venture for the international market, these products will not help actually. You have to produce certain products which attract customers from abroad. Okay, maybe some decoratives, maybe some other items, other utilities. Okay, so that is actually the product diversification is also very, very important. Then branding, you know, branding is not there. Even though Sotebari is walking from 700 BC, you see this branding is not taking place till now, right? Nobody says that this is a Sotebari product, right? Like our silk products from Swalpusi. So Sotebari is little known actually, right? So this branding also necessary. Then skill manpower development is also necessary, that I already mentioned. Training, skill development, awareness programs, these are also necessary. So we are working on all these issues. So I will now quickly go through some Rutag products, what we have developed actually. Again, I must say, these are products which are developed by a team, not by any individual like me. I have teamed up with numbers of people actually. And if you note it down, it will be very important, because this team not only includes engineers. This team includes some economists, some scientists, some social entrepreneurs, some idea masters, I should say. For example, I should say the former DGP of Assam and present president of Assam Sahitya Sabha, Kulodhar Saikia. Like that, people are there actually. No, we used to have periodic meetings. We brainstorm many things and we find out how things should be done. Very good advice we receive from different people, and then these engineers finally take up all these things and develop the products. And why we are doing this? To make it sustainable, to make sure that the products are sustainable. How we can make it sustainable? If the products are accepted by the users, number one. Number two, if these are on their own without depending upon somebody from a distant place, if the maintenance can be, some repairing can be done locally, replacement can be done locally. So these issues are there. Then power issues are also there. You know, in villages, particularly Northeast, power is a big issue. So we have to produce many products which we could have made electrically operated, but purposefully we have not made it electrically operated. We have made it manual, right? Or sometimes we have made both possible, electrically operated as well as manual. When power is not there, you should not sit idle. You can use it. You can manually. The production will be reduced, but things will go on. Okay. So these are the different issues. Also environmental issues, right? Environmental production will be reduced. Economic issues we are looking at. Okay. Like that, we are all looking at, and also we are looking at the most importantly social issues. Okay. Social issues means, see, people have some belief. Different sects, different communities have their own belief. You cannot actually impose upon them something which they do not accept. Say acceptable things only they will be adopt, right? So that is why this area is also very important, which alteration in that ideation, the final development of the product, they are also part of the whole team. Okay, we actually walk through some NGOs. These NGOs bring people who are the end users. So we talk to them. We take a lot of information. Then we go on developing the product. We test it with them. Right. Again, we try to find out if some defect, if some difficulties are there, if some event is possible. Okay. So all this type of feedback help us, and finally we come up with the final product. I will just quickly go through some products. This is a bicycle, right? The first figure, so first photograph shows is a Zen's bicycle. This is for local vendors actually. No, there are many local vendors who are going house to house, loading different things on their bicycle, and they drive it, right? This bicycle can actually carry, this Zen's version can carry 200 kg plus load, and still you can very comfortably drive this bicycle. You can ride this and drive this. So we worked with this, and we are doing well. This was very popular in different clusters. Then in one particular meeting, as I mentioned about Dr. Kulodhar Saikia, who is a member of that particular committee, he asked, why don't you go for a ladies cycle? Because in the tribal population, mostly ladies are operating more than gents. And that idea helped us a lot. Actually, we immediately developed the ladies version. You know, that ladies version can carry 150 kg plus. Other aspects are all same. Only the carrying capacity is reduced a little bit. But you see the second photograph, one lady is operating this. Okay. So we have also assessed the economy actually. They are saving around 300 to 350 rupees. Earlier, they used to take some autobahn or this type of hired vehicles. Now they can ride on their own bicycle and go house to house, cover good amount of areas. So thereby they are finding every day they are having some benefit of about 300 to 350 rupees. So this is one AD coupon opener. Again, this this is AD trade. AD is a different type of tool, which is different type of silk, which is known as a vegetarian silk. You know why it is called vegetarian silk? Because the pupa inside the cocoon that comes out, making a hole. So the pupa is not killed actually. The pupa is a good recipe actually for many communities in Assam and Northeast. And this pupa is also sold at very high price. So many people are not much interested for the cocoon part. They are much interested for the pupa, right? But why they are not much interested for the cocoon part? Because extracting fiber from the cocoon is very tedious compared to your mulberry silk or compared to your muga silk. This is not continuous fiber coming out of the cocoon. The broken fibers are there. Also, you have to actually degum it. Okay, so degumming is also important. So people, very few people are working nowadays on AD. So then one particular Tamulpur Anshalik Ramdan Samiti, they came to us, they explained all the things, we visited them, we have found all the issues, we studied that, they have taken help from Uddhav Bharali, Padmasri Uddhav Bharali. We sent him to this he was there for a few days. He also studied. Then he came up with a cocoon opener, automatic cocoon opener. And then that we tested in Swalkusi. We had a 5 days workshop with that new cocoon opener and also with the traditional methods. We compared the products, the wastage, everything, ease of working, all these things. And then based on the feedback we received from this 5 days workshop, we improvised that cocoon opener, which was originally developed by Uddhav Bharali. And this improvisation is done now. The fourth version of this AD cocoon opener is with us. Okay, and this is found to be much better than what was it earlier. But the first one who actually came up with this technology, who helped us, and cost of the machine is also not high, actually, it's around 12,000 rupees. And artisans can, if you use actually one who actually left this trade to join some other trade because they got 25 rupees to 30 rupees a day ways. Okay, so that is the reason we feel we become successful doing this. This is a power loom. This power loom is why it is special. Power loom is there everywhere, right? Problem is they are produced in power loom. It was only produced in handloom. The Muga fiber are power loom. It does not work. Okay, you cannot actually operate the power loom with the Muga fiber threads. So one of my friend, Dulal Surri, he came up with a technology. He modified this power loom for weaving Muga fabric. And he he patented this technology, and this patent technology he dedicated to people of Assam. He met the then governor of Assam. He told that I am dedicating this technology to people of Assam. Then governor was very happy, and he convened a meeting inviting different organizations, including us. And there are numbers of meetings actually after that. And finally, we were given to execute it and promised by net. Originally, funding was fixed at 39.5 lakhs rupees. However, it took time actually while implementing this project because of many other reasons. So finally, we could implement it with around 19 lakhs of rupees. So additional fund was provided by Ruta. Beyond that 13.5, the additional fund was provided by Ruta. And we became successful. And Governor, J.B. Patna, Honorable Governor J.B. Patna, he actually commissioned this in 2011. It is in Amingaon. We have 4 rooms. We are providing training using Muga fabric. We are also providing training to 3 categories of people. One is those who are likely entrepreneurs who want to have their own units. We train them. Number 2, we also train weavers who would like to work in this type of Muga fabric production center. The third category, we actually train some mechanic, because here all the time one mechanic is necessary, because there are some loosened bolts and nuts are there. Some you have to sometimes adjust the motor belt. These type of issues are there. So one mechanic is required. So we train the mechanic also. Right. So this was another project. The project is over. Still we are continuing. One of 2 actually young boys. One of them was my student. They are actually taking up this as a commercial venture now. So these 3 products, I mentioned that we try to produce many things which are produced elsewhere. We try to produce locally. These are the 3 products we actually produce locally, and we trained up a group of young people from Swalkusi, and they are commercially producing all these 3 machines along with some other machines. The other machines are not developed by us. These 3 machines are developed by us. That group is called Laboidno Udyog in Swalkusi. One Sorod Deka and 2 other members are there associated with that Laboidno Udyog. So what are these machines? The one machine is hang to bobbin winning machine. Those who are from I mean, those who know about how weaving is done, actually, no, that initially before you put it to the loom, the pre-processing, no, pre-processing is required. Pre-processing means what? Warping is required. For warping, what is required? That bobbins are required. That ugha, in Assamese it is called ugha. So from Sedeki to ugha, actually the the thread which you buy from market, these are actually having a big diameter. So that is actually wounded in a small diameter bobbin, or that is called ugha. So that we have been doing. It is a 10 spindle machine. That means 10 bobbin can be. That we have been doing right by 10 hands you can use together. But manually, if you do only from 1 to 1, you can do. You cannot do more than 1, actually, right? Then second one is your pound winding machine. You know that Zotor. This is a Zotor, mechanized Zotor, I should say, right? So here the parts are actually wounded. And here also we have 6 spindle or 8 spindle machines are there. So here you will find this is actually having both the options, powered as well as manual. When power is there, you operate it with electricity. If power is not available, you do it manually, right? Well, next one is your sectional warping machine. You know Tatbati, many of you will be knowing Tatbati. It is called warping. In Assamese, it is called Tatbati. You need a long yard. Okay, there's a Bhupen Hazarika song, no? Road power karone mati banu kat. Okay, that song actually describes this Tatbati. Okay, one lady comes out for Tatbati. Immediately, many young different neighborhood people household, they also come and join. Okay. So for this Tatbati, actually you require a long yard, number 1. Number 2, you need numbers of people to help you. And weather must be good. There must not be any rain or sort of wind, right? So that is also important. So Now we have developed this particular technology, which you can do in a 12 by 12 room. Okay, so you are not weather dependent. Anytime you can do this, right? So these machines are there actually elsewhere. It is developed in Ahmedabad, Banaras, Madurai, like that in different places it is produced. But the cost and delivery time of these machines are huge, it is huge. And we tried actually to procure it from outside, and we found that these are not only costing, the delivery time is also very high. There are a lot of difficulties. So finally, we came up with our own design. Our designs are quite different from the designs provided in the available machines elsewhere. So we have made it easily maintainable, okay, and you need not have to depend upon the mechanics from town. You yourself can manage it, or you can find out some mechanic in your nearby places in the village itself. Okay, so that way we develop these machines. Its cost also came down, and these are used by many weavers. This is not only useful for power loom, also for handloom. No, so these are used by huge numbers of end users. So in my introduction, Padmini told that beetle nut cutting machine. We do not say it is a machine actually. The machine has a different machine. If you are a mechanical engineer, you know. So we have developed a beetle nut cutter. Not a machine, it is a cutter. Okay. One assumption. They approached us. They took us to Gwalpara, and we have had one area of Gwalpara district. We have found many small children are used for the beetle nut cutting, and if we have found out, we observed that there are a lot of finger cuts of the children, and they're exploited. They are not paid well also. They are very young children actually, even less than 12 years of age. So we wanted to intervene there with the help of this Assam Mohila Samadasam. So we developed this cutter. Okay, this cutter is very useful. You can cut depending on the size of the beetle nut, 4 to 8 numbers at a time, and then this is also not very costly. Okay, so this became successful in Gwalpara cluster. We tried it in another cluster in Dorong district, Kharupetia. But in Kharupetia, people did not accept it. They wanted the full nut, not the broken pieces. Okay, they wanted the full one. So that we are not working on actually. So what I want to say, whatever is successful somewhere, it may not be successful elsewhere, right? So that also we learned. This is actually a multi-nutrient compressed feed block making machine. This machine was again developed at the instance of another NGO from Arunachal, right? And we developed it for yak. Yaks are living at high altitude places in Himalayan foothills, not only in Arunachal Pradesh, also in Ladakh, Sikkim, Nepal, like that, Uttarakhand. Okay. So when we developed this small machine, and there was an yak mela in Arunachal Pradesh, we went there, and it was demonstrated. Instantly, it became very popular. The people from Ladakh and other places also wanted this machine. And I explained them that this machine does not cost much. If it is produced here and it is transported to Ladakh, the cost of transportation will be much higher than the product. So it is better you send some technician to us, we'll train them, you can develop it locally, because we are not charging any royalty for this. So that we have been doing. Later on National Research Center of Yak is there actually in Arunachal, and that is in Dirang. There is another National Research Center on Mithun in Dimapur, Meghalaya. It is wrongly written. It is National Research Center on Mithun actually in Dimapur. So they approached us. They told us we also require this machine. We had two different machines actually. One was manual, one was hydraulically operated, not powered. One is hydraulically operated, one is manual. The manual was adopted by the DRAM, NRC, and this NRC Mitun Dimapur, they adopted this hydraulic one. And they also came up with some feedback, some suggestion for improvisation. So accordingly, we have improvised now these machines. These are the two machines. The top one is the manual one. The below one is the hydraulically operated one. Then this is for mushroom production. It is very good actually. Shape cutting machine. The shape cutting machine which is available in the market is a huge size. 2 persons are required to operate it. Cost is also high and very maintenance prone. You know, say you are using it for 15-20 days, it requires some maintenance. It requires some repairing. So one set of people, they brought some machines for repairing to our IIT. We studied that, and I found that a lot of redundancy is there. So we designed our own, shape cutter. It's a tabletop one, a very small one. So it can be operated by one person, no need of 2 persons, and productivity is also high. So it became useful and successful. This Mushroom Development Foundation implemented this. Then we have a bamboo circle and vinegar production machine. Now from Punjab and from Maharashtra government, we are having some discussion going on. They are interested to adopt this technology. Already this technology is adopted in different places, where we are not only producing bamboo circle, also simultaneously we are producing bamboo vinegar. Bamboo vinegar is useful particularly for as a sort of a pesticide, right? And then this bamboo circle also, the quality of bamboo circle is very good and it is being used elsewhere. You'll be surprised to know why this is used actually. This is a very good thing which can actually consume bad smell, odor. Okay, I visited one piggery in Garo Hills in Meghalaya, and there was no smell. Then when we inquired, they told that beneath the floor, they have a layer of circle, bamboo circle. And I was really surprised. Then I came to know that these bamboo circles are also put in many hospitals and hotels reception counters. They put it in a small bowel. So it absorbs the smell, the bad smell. So that is why it is very, very popular actually, you know, besides for burning. This is the powder wheel we develop. I mentioned about this. This is the powder wheel we develop. What change we made? We have we have made numbers of changes. One is we have detached the seat. So you can choose your own seat according to your own dimensions or your choice, right? Secondly, the IIT Kharagpur one was bicycle type of operation. Okay, the bicycle pedal operated platform. We have converted it to sewing machine type. So now the ladies operators, ladies artisans are also happy with this because they need not have to raise their sari or mekhala to the knee. That was the complaint actually. That is the social factor I am talking about. Okay, this is very example of a social factor. They actually, these lady artisans were complaining earlier with that earlier model that they have to raise their mekhala or sari up to the knee, which is socially not acceptable, right? So we developed this. They are used to this sewing machine. So now they did not have to raise their mekhala or sari to the knee. So this is becoming very popular for them. Numbers of clusters are working with this machine. Some of them are demanding that it should be made powered, that means electrically operated with one motor should be fitted. We are thinking of doing that, but initially, as I told, we purposefully made it actually manual because as I told, power scenario in villages in Northeast is very poor actually. No? Also, we besides developing technology, we are also conducting some training and on management on rural enterprise. We are doing it almost every year, but this year, because of this pandemic situation, we could not do it. Whom we train those who are already rural entrepreneurs, as well as those who are likely entrepreneurs. Okay, who are likely entrepreneurs. So, what is the curriculum? In brief, I am telling you. The different types of registration, because I have actually experienced with these people. They do not know what is a trade license. We ask, we train them how to get a trade license, from which authority, how it should be applied. Then GST registration, earlier it was VAT registration, then income tax registration, PAN number, all these type of things are trained. Then documents required, Salan, invoice or bill, receipts. Actually, I had an experience, one modern colleague from Polasbari, he used to supply us this Muga yarns for this project of power loom production of Muga fabric. So this modern Kolita came, he delivered items, and then he came with a slip with writing the total amount this much. I told, where is your bill or where is your salan? He asked me what is salan and what is bill. Then I had to teach them what is a salan, what is a bill. And finally, I took him one day to a printing press, and I asked him to name his farm. He told, okay, Modern Kolita Enterprise. So that Modern Kolita Enterprise bill and salans were printed for him. Also, money receipts were printed for him. Then I trained him how to do this, all this trade license and all this. With that experience, actually, now we are actually providing the training or awareness about how these things should be done to these real entrepreneurs or likely entrepreneurs. Also, different government schemes, other schemes where they can actually get some help. So these are also given exposure to them. We take them to many different successful entrepreneurs, okay, during the course itself, and they are allowed to interact with them directly. Also, what are the banking practices, financial support system, how if they want to apply for a loan from some financial institution, how it can be done, what are the documents required, all these things. Okay, so this is in brief. Actually, there are many other contents are there. So we are doing this, and we have found that the people are really benefited out of this training. So some of the MTech projects in our Center for Rail Technology, I'll just mention. Just to show the varieties of, I have given only a few numbers of projects. There are many actually. The one is collection and transportation of biomass in rural area and value addition. Then one is design of a shaft cutter particular to the mushroom products. Synthesis and characterization of a magnetic nanoparticles coated with different coatings material for fluoride removal in water. Then characterization of bale metal on the basis of study of its processing by artisans. Then your in vitro micropropagation of stevia, ribadunia, Bartoni, and industrial import and medicinal plant. Then VICT Tech, that is an ICT-based web app for rural community. Solid waste management in rural area. Iron and fluoride removal water filter, like that. So with this, I conclude. I think I have covered a few important points for particularly for sustainable village development with science and technology intervention. With my practical experience, I have shared my things with you. So if you have any questions, you can ask.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for in-depth information about practical visibility of the village interferences. Thank you so much. So I would like to request the participant if they have any question, so you can just come yourself, live. You can unmute and then ask the question, or else you can also use the chat box so that we can pick and we can share the question for you. So I'm scanning the chat, sir. So far I could not see any question. So if there is no any question, because sir has to be very much occupied.
Okay, then I will withdraw this. Sharing.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. So we have a question from Tamil Nadu. That's Nagarajan, who is a very active participant. And the question is
Yeah.
whether such machines are supported by the government scheme or not.
Oh, it is actually, see, this RUTAG I did not tell in details. Actually, RUTAG is supported by Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India. It was actually conceptualized by the then Principal Scientific Advisor, Dr. R. Sidambaram. He has relinquished this post 2 years back, and now Dr. Vijay Raghavan is PSA now. And this money comes basically from DST, but it is routed through this PSA's office. There are numbers of routers in IIT Madras, then your IIT Roorkee. These were the first two, then third was ours. Then IIT Kharagpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, IIT Ropar, like that. Now there are many.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So in continuity to the
But we are
question,
not
sir.
providing one thing I have to tell you. We are not providing financial support. We are providing technology support. Many NGOs, many people approach us for financial
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh,
support. We do actually only technology support.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, in continuity to that, there is a question: subsidy given to the rural people benefits. Okay, so this is with that being, if
No,
there is any subsidy
I
or not.
don't
Yeah.
think subsidy helps actually. I am against subsidy. I'm very much vocal about not giving subsidy to make them sustainable. Subsidy is actually not helping people. Actually, I'm telling you very frankly.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. This is a question from Sahu. The question is that there is a huge digital dividend divide in India. How Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is planning to fill the gap?
That question I will not take because I'm not working in digital things. So I think the appropriate people will have to answer that. I don't know anything about digital divide. I work for very simple technology, not for digital or something electronic or something. Okay.
Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for answering this also. If there is any more question or not, if then I think we will end the today's session, sir. So thank you so much for your time, sir. In spite of your
Thank
tight
you.
schedule,
Thank you.
sir, with the most
Thank you.
biggest takeaway from the session is that the learning from the failure, and I can see, in entire presentation you are showing the practical thing, which is really, possible, not like, a theoretical thing or not like in a virtual thing. That's all the activity which your regime has taken place was really commendable, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. And I'm sure that
Thank you.
the participant here would take a benefit. Okay, sir, if you don't mind, sir, last one more question. Vasto is from Nagaland. Sir, do you give skill development program through your center? So probably he wanted to understand about Rutak and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, I think. So do you do there is any
Uh,
skill development program at Rutak? And yeah,
we
is there any
are
skill
actually
development program?
I'll tell you. Actually, we are not saying it as a skill development program, but whenever we develop some technology, we always provide hand-holding support. Hand-holding support includes skill development also. Not only skill development, as well as that market linkage, then your the maintenance issues, and many other issues. Actually, during hand-holding, we give them, many times we bring them here, we train them here. Many times we go to their place, we train them at their place.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, we also do skill development, but we are not naming it as skill development. We are always selling it as hand-holding support. We are supporting for the products which are developed by us and which are used by the end users. For them, we are providing the hand-holding support, which includes skill for that particular product. So if everything is over, can I leave? Padmini?
Yes, sir.
Should I leave?
Okay, sir, but I think there are no more questions here. So,
Yeah.
Deputy Commissioner called me up because of a tomorrow program. So that's why, sir. Sorry, sir. I'm very sorry, sir. Probably, sir, you have answered this question. So I think we'll be very much occupied. So, sir, then thank you so much for the time and sparing and giving and knowledge to our participants. Sir. Hope to see you also, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Bye, bye, sir.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
thank you,
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so participant, I'm going to share the feedback. Just give me a couple of seconds. Okay, here it is. So I request you to please fill this form. We'll really appreciate, if this is filled within 15 minutes, and also request that, it's very much look a little bit not good that it is shared in our group, in the WhatsApp group. So please do that, according to here, because sometimes I'm not saying that there would be, but sometimes it's happened that, our participants who are not attending and they mark it there, and then, this is like not very much honest in our part also. So I request you not to do that. So this is all about today's session. I hope there is something that you learned and something that you would like to develop for your village also accordingly. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see you in the afternoon, right? Padmini, it's an afternoon, right? At what time?
Yes, sir. It's from 1 p.m.
Okay, so 1 p.m. So that means we have around more than 1 hour. So see you in the
Yes,
afternoon.
sir.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
The link is working. So, can you just please try one more time?